Hello, people. How you guys doing? Trust every one of you is doing great. It's nice to have you back today. Yeah, good to have you all. Thank you all for watching our last video. I believe our experience and our story on how we met and the journey thus far will inspire you, will, get us going. So, right. So today I like us to just share. We're here already. As you all know, we've moved to Scotland over the last couple of years, and it's just a lot of things going on, especially when you migrate to another country. We've seen a lot, and today we just want to be sharing a little bit insight or tip about the things I have seen and we have seen, especially that has to do with marriages, right? So today we're going to be talking about marriages.
Okay.
So pay attention, stay tuned as we get and dig into it with facts, experiences, and stories of what has happened and what I've seen firsthand. And I believe it's going to inspire you, make your bond stronger. Planning to japa with your wife or with your spouse, stay to this channel and listen to the end, all right? Let's dive into it. So first, if you want to japa, you're planning to travel out, you're planning to move to another nation, another country, right? As a man, as a woman, love no they do. I'm going to tell you first.
What do you mean?
Love no they do because it's a different climate altogether. Now, if you're a man and you feel like you are the odogu, the all is who of the house, and you're jackpying, right? You want to come over to this side. You initiated it, you did all the funding, and that babe did just that side. Your wife, particularly, a wife of 5 years, 7 years, 3 years, newly wedded couples, all sorts, any one of it. My brother, first advice or first thing I'll tell you is be sure that one, you have not been offending that woman back home.
I didn't say that.
If you know, say you are showing her pepper and they show her shege promas back in Nigeria, and now you want to japa with her to any part of the country, UK, Canada, anywhere, US, any part of the world that is not Nigeria, that is not Africa, that you want to japa with her, my brother, I will advise you to think twice. Make amends. Be sure that she has forgiven you.
Wait. Are you trying to tell them not to jackpot with their wives?
No, I'm just giving them heads up of what is going on here.
Okay.
I'm giving you heads up of what is going on here. Make sure that babe or that wife has forgiven you. Else, if you come here with her, with that unforgiveness and all the things you've been doing, and then you come and want to continue the same, or yours is your case, so
I get where it's coming from, because coming here we've had lots
no, you'll
of
be talking
stories.
about the women and what
The women.
men.
Okay, I should talk about the women.
I'll be talking about the men
men.
experience.
Okay.
I'll be advising the men. You'll be advising the women.
What advice will I give the women?
You know now.
One thing I've noticed, like he said, is that when people come here, most marriages, if your home is not like founded on the right like foundation before you come, no, don't even reason coming together, because we've seen a lot of stories, we've heard a whole lot, we've seen it firsthand.
You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, say the women own their
No, it's more of the men than the women.
Okay, so
that's why I don't have
the year. Guys, you're not the year. Now, so let me tell you one. Let me tell you some out of the so many. Number one, even the guys here that will leave, they have a job here, maybe they have come, they've schooled, they have things going on, and they want to go back home and go and marry. My brother, that one too is far. I'll tell you, a guy recently, normal, came to school, hustle, pay school fees, did everything, only for him to go back home and marry, and brought the wife. Very young girl, babe show up. And then my guy was busy doing night shift and leaving the babe.
Oh, I heard that story.
I'm telling you, it's not funny anyway, but that's just what is obtainable. He was busy doing his work, doing about his business, going for his work and all that, to make sure that there's ends meet. And the girl started working day shift. Mama, now so she go see one bobo, one Rome bobo. Rome will even better pass, so to tell you how the matter take the pain guys for here. That's how she started entangling with that one. Eventually, she was pregnant. The boy don't know whether na him own or been at the Rome owner. So, luckily for him, why his own is even on a good side, or took the girl back home, and she has given birth. And now they don't need DNA for this matter. Picking Oyis. So, guys, the bottom line is, when you're in a relationship, let's take ourselves for example, right? Settling in was not easy, especially for the guys. For me as well, when you have to go back to the scripture. For me, that I'm inclined with that scripture area. If not for scripture, maybe I would have been, consulting family or talking to people around. But based on my own foundation and how I have understood marriage to be, I came to realize that, okay, we're in this matter together. What this person is going through, you as well, you're going through your own. The stress is there, the pressure is...
He's been talking, it's been like, his own side has been like, okay, it's just the ladies that have issues. See, it's a two-sided thing. I've had lots of stories, I've even seen firsthand of marriages, people that come in as couple, and at the end of the day, this same story he told. I've heard of someone, I don't want to mention him, but where I worked before. So this lady, she's also an Oyibo. Let me use Oyibo. So I worked night shift one time for 1 week, so we got talking, and she was like, do I know that she dated a Nigerian guy for 2 years without knowing he was married with 4 kids. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, that he even took her to his house, what he called his home, and all of that. He introduced her to so many people that he said was his family, and all of a sudden, they were even planning to get married. Mind you, the woman and the kids were in this same city, but she didn't have any clue of what was happening. But afterwards, she found out. The lady said she didn't know how the woman found out. She found out, took her number and called her and told her, that person that you're dating, that you are about to marry, is my husband, and he has 3 kids. And she gave her all the proof she needed. So we've seen so many stories like that. So I think it's a two-sided thing. Most times people say, okay, it is men that did not treat their women outside in Nigeria. When they come back, they change and they begin to do all sorts of things, because the truth is that over here, women has a lot of rights. The right we don't have back home. When we are
That's where I was going to.
When we are back home, there is nothing to cover women.
They get right to override for here.
There's like nothing to cover women and all of that. That's why you see a lot of abuse, violent abuse and all of that in marriages. But here, there's nothing like that. The man can get instantly locked up. So what I think is that most women take advantage of it. Yes, some of them, maybe their husband have been treating them badly back home and they want to revenge. But some of them, it's just their personality.
It's not that they want to revenge. They come purposely in order to revenge. Being that sometimes the men too will forget that, we are in another city, we are in another clime, I want to carry on with their manly odogu levels, forgetting that here, as that woman they call, they don't move you come out. Now you dey pay house rent too, but they go move you come out from the house. So what she's saying as well is that's just where I was also going to. They have rights, more rights than men. When they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. And for this country, now Siam is working in this particular climate environment. They have equal rights. You see women, there's no discrimination there's no gender discrimination at all. Zero tolerance for it. That's what they have here. You see a woman driving truck, you see a woman doing all sort of anything that a man can do, they do it. So when it comes to marriage and relationship, like how we usually do it back home, and then imagine the women too, when they come in here from Nigeria, they don't usually earn any much, You are the man, you are everything, you're the all in all. And they come to this country, for example, and they work. Say, for example, weekly wage of, say, 500 to 400 pounds. Do the math with conversion. Exactly. Do you understand? And now she's, the question we usually ask back home when you're wanting to date a woman, what are you bringing to the table? Here, they also have, they don't ask any woman here what you're bringing to the table because everybody is working.
Yeah.
And when they start working, for example, you want to say something?
Yeah, and I think that's why some of our men struggle. Some of our men, because it was also a struggle for us when we came in.
How?
You don't tell me we didn't struggle. See, it was a struggle. Let's not go to that story.
Let's.
When a man in Nigeria, now a typical Nigerian man is not used to washing of plates. He's not used to when he eats, he carry his plate. He's not used to when he eats, he carry his plate to the kitchen. He's not used to childcare. Back home in Nigeria, what's concerned, my husband used to go to work, come back. When he come back, dad yo. He carry children. How was your day? He go back to his room. Nothing concerned with childcare. Do you get what I mean? But over here, it's just me and him. So when we first came in, it was more like he had not called me, like it has not dawned on him that guy, we are now in another place. So your wife no be your housemaid, your wife now wife. When they say marriage is partnership, is here I see it's play. Like when you come with that mentality, marriage is partnership. Most times in Nigeria, we don't see marriage as partnership. We see it as, okay, the man is the head of the family. He's still the head of the family, but more like, oh yeah, you go out, do the work, bring the money, and we chop the money. But over here, it's a different ball game entirely. Different, but it has to be partnership for it to work over here. If it's not partnership, then it won't work. That's just it.
Exactly the point. If it's not partnership, you're not going to make any headway. And then for people, like I started earlier, if you're planning to japa with your family, be sure. I'm saying that with emphasis because a lot of stories, the women, they just use it as a way of being vindictive to their spouse, especially when they come in here and they don't want to change or adapt to the situation. Imagine a guy. A lot of stories.
Let me tell them another story. There was this story of someone. I really don't want to mention him, but it's a person, someone I know. So he came in with his wife. And they left their children in Nigeria. So when they came, he was the student. He was my classmate back in where I did my masters. He was the student while the wife was meant to be working. Usually the students get to do like 20 hours. While the dependent, your spouse, can do unlimited work. So the spouse is more
carry me why I pay her school fees.
So I was the student, he was the dependent. So he works more, I work 20 hours. So that was the case of this guy. He was the student. So, but the lady she didn't want to work. So she said she didn't want to do this, she didn't want to do that. So she was not working as much as she should. So him being the student, he was burdened with getting school fees. He was burdened with getting bills to pay house rent. So after everything, he thought it would change, but it didn't change. This woman will collect her salary and everything, she doesn't contribute to anything. he will be the one to use the money he got, and then he'll pay the bills, pay for everything. So the thing that what annoyed him more was what she used that money for. So she would use her money and buy expensive perfumes. He brought out some of the perfumes, like got the names. He said he googled the perfume and it was like £300 for one perfume. And she had a lot of perfume collections in her house, in the house. At the end of the day, she didn't work, and the rules changed. So before, he got a sponsorship and he couldn't add her up in his sponsorship. She couldn't work. Well, the long and short story is that she had to go back home because her visa was no longer like, she didn't get a visa because she was not willing to work. You understand? So you would hear a whole lot of stories. And now she's back home, the kids are back home, the guy is just here without his family and he's feeling like not complete. So we've heard a lot of stories about this, and seriously, like you said, if you want japa with your spouse, make una sit down, make una think am well, like think am. If you be man,
very important. If you be man, continue.
If you be man where you feel say you no go fit come down to your wife level, make una do this thing like partnership. Say wife go say, oh yeah, husband, abeg get me wash plate, make I do this one. You go come dey do like this, the ways. Think am, like sit down, think am. Maybe you'll be able to tell you more.
This one wey my wife dey emphasize wash plate.
No be your wash plate, no be only wash plate. I dey emphasize am because na the major thing wey dey cause issue once husband and wife come in. That's like the major thing, because it's something that they are not used to. And if you guys are not like, you don't come down to think about, to talk, it causes a whole lot of problems, seriously. Because a typical Nigerian man, we expect that, okay, the woman will keep doing what she was doing back home in Nigeria. This woman goes out and work 40 hours. She has kids to take care of when she comes back. She's tired, she's stressed, and all of that. And she still has to cook. She still has to do the entire things in the home. So it's been like, I've seen a lot of cases about this.
Yeah. So basically, or generally, as a man, as you're planning to japa with your family to whatever country you're going to, understand that as you guys are getting there or leaving to get to whatever destination you're going to go, be certain that you're going in is partnership now with you and your wife. No matter the religion, communication again is key to building a lasting relationship over here. Communicate with each other, ensure that everything is going on well. But above all, you see, he said, if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? Right? If the foundation is strong, you always overcome, scale through, you always push through no matter how the storm ranges, right? So you as a man, right, you're planning to japa with your wife, you're planning to take a trip or, move out of the country with your family especially, right? Be intentional about it. Being intentional is that you're going to keep loving, you're going to, except the lady is not nice, except the person is not your friend, you already know. I'll tell you one of the stories that, that keeps relationship bonding and then, keeps each other together. You know that, I can really live with this person or I cannot. You should already know before you get married to the person. But some persons don't used to know. You see them after 2-3 years, they are already growing apart, and it's kind of funny. I'll tell you one life experience I had with my wife, or me and my wife had back then. That's our first year of marriage. It might even be like the first couple of months, right? Before I even moved to Kaduna. Do you remember what I want to share?
No.
So usually we'll get to pray. We usually pray every night, So one of those days that we are praying, we're praying, in the room. She don't cook beans that day now. Beans have been away to chop for money. Guys, we are praying. You know when you're praying and kabashing in tongues.
I can't believe you want to say that.
We're kabashing in tongues and praying. My babe, they release gas. You know when you're praying and your tongues are changing. The tongues were changing, and I was like, "What is this?" That she guess what I said to her. I tell them what I said.
No, I can't remember exactly.
You know,
But I know you were angry.
I was so pissed. I said, "How would you be embarrassing God? That God is not even happy with." See, how can we be in the presence of God
And I'm farting.
and you are gassing off?
He got so angry that day. I'm like, that my mess, they make him vex.
But at the end of the day, you know, when I got off from that point, and I was like, okay, which one be how you go the presence of God? She got the passive mess. You know, we started laughing about it. We laughed, so we started making jokes about it. You know, that was me, right? At that point, realizing that no be see me, I know they run my own. No, my own the loud self, you know, very loud, so to say, you know. But on that particular scenario situation, I felt, you know, feeling holy, being tech, want to be very pious, not to be free. You know. But at the end of the day, I had to understand that, man, maybe like that. It's not really as it is. Everybody needs to be free. God did not take offense. He doesn't take offense in such things. Why am I sharing that? Situations would occur. That would have been a trigger. That would have been something for someone else. It'd be like, oh, I'm holy, you know, holier. Do you understand? Yeah, this heavy man of God and all those things. Why you go dey pray in tongues, they release gas and all those things. That being said, and also another thing is for the guys, right? If you're making an application or your wife is the one you're going to front to do anything, especially in coming over to this particular or traveling out, also be involved, get involved. For example, me, I'm sharing it out of experience. I wasn't much as involved as I should, right? That being said, there are some places would have made some right decisions, especially in the area of accommodation, at the point of entry and all those things. We kind of struggle in those places, but everything was actually working together for our good at the end of the day.
I think that will be a whole section on its own.
So no, I'm just giving them tips and all those things. I'm just mentioning all those things. I think my wife is good in all those ones too. She can make an but because I trust her decisions. But there are places where you as a man or who has been in the street understand how the market things work, also front. And then you as a man, when you come, also update yourself. Get involved in things that you also be updating yourself, you know. Don't just go and sit and want to relax and then want to end up in the lower cadre jobs and all those things. Be the guy as well. And like she said, it's not as if you're no longer the head of the home, but much is also expected of you in terms of you bringing in the money and all those things, you know. Even yourself, you know, you'll not be happy that at the end of the month, both of you are bringing the same amount in. You always want to outdo and be the man. It's definitely the thing inside of us. So, I don't know, do you have much things to talk about
You've
in
said
that
it.
regard?
Well, I think it's all about being big on communication, because coming from where we came from, speaking from where we came from, we had children, and in order for us to meet up, we had to do childcare. So one person had to work alternate shifts. One person works day, one person works night. So imagine I work day 3 days in a week, for example, and he works nights 4 times in a week. In fact, there are times when he worked night 6 straight nights when we needed money to settle people back home. We'll dive into our Japa story later on. So there are times we go days, weeks without like saying. The only time we see each other is I'm coming back from work and he's handing over the children to me and bye, and we all dash off. So that particular one too is a big challenge for most people, because that's when they get to grow apart. You see the man probably now that's why when the man start having, maybe for men that are not guarded, they are not disciplined, they are not founded in God, you see them start drifting away, maybe having colleagues, female colleagues as side chicks and the rest. Or you see the woman too, she start growing apart. But when you're big on communication, like we had to decide be intentional about it. We spoke on phone, even when it was working. There are ways we'll just get to communicate. So we are not there yet, but we still try. At least communication is big, like it's really key, because there are times one party is overstressed, is stressed, and when someone is stressed might not be able to communicate. Like, it might be giving you a vibe that you don't like. So when that person is stressed and can communicate his or her feelings, it will make the other party know that, okay, this is where this person is at. How can I help? What can I do? So I think it's all about, one, having the good foundation before you come, and then to sustain it when you come, be big on foundation, be big on communication, and then prayer, guys. Prayer, like the God that brought you here in the first place, no leave am. Like, you need him more here than you ever did in Nigeria. Most people come and feel like, okay,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need God.
Yeah, it's all like she said. Be big on God, be big on prayer, you know. Ensure that your partnership with your partner, or the love in your partner, is genuine, not audio love, both for the women and the men. The women too, it's not as if they get to find it easy, you know. Some of them, when they come, you know, when you come in and then you start feeling, oh, I've also arrived. What a man can do, a woman can do better, like I said earlier. If it gets into their head, it's just it. And you know, women sometimes will just like to be free birds, like having the opportunity to work wherever you want to work. That's why you see some families or men putting out their wives or letting them get the sponsorship that they require, you know. And once the woman gets it, the man can always be there doing his things and then ensuring that the family front run. And that sometimes make the women want to, you know, backfire on the guys and want to do anyhow. But it's for the ones that don't understand, because it's also a struggle. There are lots of stories, a lot. Recent one was the one that one guy shared that happened in Manchester. Now the family, I think they're already back home, or they're planning to get them back home. Why? Because the woman also had something, and when she reported that the husband should be taken out of her the visa, the COS, the husband went back and said, "Oh, you man, you did something wrong." What was it that she did wrong? She carried her sister's child as her own child, and added it as her own, reported her, which is an illegal thing for them to do. You know, that way, now as everything not scattered, and she's not begging the man to stop talking. The man said no. And these are people that sold properties. You sell your house, sell everything, you know, to come over, and only for someone to come and want to, you know, leave you and abandon you. So it's just crazy. And you hear these marriages, some of them have lasted 10 years, some has lasted 7 years. So it's not about the longevity of marriage, it's just about the intention of the person and the people. People get to change, really. So
I wouldn't say they change.
Thank God.
Like I was telling someone that
okay.
that was like, when women come here, they get to change. You know, so that was a statement. I was like, no, a woman don't come here and change. Neither does a man come here and change. The person just had the opportunity to show their personality. That's the person's personality right from time. Maybe as a woman, you didn't have a opportunity to show yourself.
I will agree to that, because you know there's nothing money cannot do. You know, sometimes you say when you give some people money, you see their true character, you see the true person inside of those persons, right? Some persons, when they start making money and see money, especially when conversion is in their head, not forgetting that where you are is where you're also going to spend the money. Imagine someone that's weekly. You see, for example, the person is earning £500 weekly. If you convert it, that's like £1 million, and the person back in Nigeria, they don't even see 100k in a month. Do you understand? The attitude will change. You know, they will start pricing land. They go and buy estates. So you get those kind of a thing. So it's just what it is anyway. But we thank God for And there are a lot of marriages on the other side that are
They
strong.
are strong, yeah. I was about to
Ooh.
say that.
There are a lot that are strong. And if you see how, that's where real love is. It's not audio love, actually.
I will take one couple as an example. You know the couple I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you go to their home, you be like, this guy, a typical. Okay, when we first came in, and we had to visit this couple, so when we went to their house, they served us dinner and all of that. And after we finished eating, we just saw the man. They've been here for like 15 going to 20 years, I think. The man just stood up and was clearing the dishes. And he finished clearing the dishes. He carried the dishes to the kitchen and was washing the dishes. I was standing, I could see the facial expression of my husband, like, I was standing, even me too, I was shocked. Or I was also shook to my bone. Like, your wife is there, she's seated, and all of that. Why are you the one? And we stayed for quite a while. It's not like he was like acting it, that it was something that he was already used to. In the morning, he'll wake up, you'll see him, he'll come down, he'll clean the house before he goes to work. I'm like, okay. Then the wife now noticed our reaction I think the second night or so. She now busted out into laughter. She was now like, she told my husband, I said, my brother, you better learn.
Yeah, you have to learn, unlearn and relearn. So in the process of growth, you have to really
and
unlearn
if you see
some
them,
things and relearn.
they are really doing well. Their kids well mannered, disciplined, and their couples are doing well.
Yeah, there are a lot of marriages that are good, and I'm telling you, if you see them, you know that this is love personified. You know, everybody looks out for each other. Everybody knows each other's schedule and how things work, and you know they've been able to manage themselves and everything. And it's not as if they don't have money. Investments are there. You're living in your own home, you know, bro. And the advantage of being a partner is higher than when you're not in partnership with your couple, your spouse.
You see,
when the
Bible says one person will chase 1,000 and two people will chase 10,000.
Now here they walk.
Seriously.
You might be also be walking over there in Nigeria. It's working. You know, you just see these things and know that it's proof that these things are happening. So basically, there are a lot of marriages that work, and we're also learning from those ones and knowing how you're doing it, how you're navigating, and all those things. And it's just what it is. So you that you're planning to travel with your spouse, or you that you're the woman who is also telling your husband, let's travel the purpose of coming to, you know, revenge. Or you will be the guy, the plan travel, you never understand the matter finish. This is an update for you. Know very well, born very well. If you know you've been offending her, ask for forgiveness.
Have everything, sit down, talk about it, look at the pros, look at the cons. It's working over here, but you really have to
be intentional about it.
All right.
So it's nice having you guys on this episode, and I trust that it's going to, you know, enlighten some of us, bless us as well. And click on the like button, share, subscribe. Tell someone to tell someone. And love your life as you should. Love you guys. See you on the next one.
Bye.